This is like, what, my fourth take, I think, of doing this, but we're gonna give it a shot here. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mike. I'm an amateur poker player, and I suck. I'm a losing poker player, let's just be honest. We'll get that out of the way right now. This vlog is gonna be mostly home games, hanging out with my friends, and just taking each other's money. I live in southwestern New Hampshire, and there's not a lot of casinos around here, and even less that allow you to actually record while you're in there. So we get together usually about once a week and play for pretty much fun, but we also take each other's money. This is, you want to be on the vlog? What was I gonna say? Oh, these games are not raked, so there's no question of legality there. Just want to preface this with that. Also have some, what are they called? Side games? Mini games? Our home games also feature some side games and mini games, such as the knit game, which is also known as the stand-up game, the 7-deuce game, and this vlog in particular features some carnival games, such as blackjack and what else did we have? You want to get down? Such as blackjack and reverse poker. We'll get into that a little bit later. This is my first attempt at making a vlog, so please go easy on me in the comments. I want to give it a shout out to my friends who have been egging me on to actually post this and edit this clip together. Do this because I've been putting it off for quite some time now. As I said, I'm just an amateur poker player, so sometimes my thought process may be flawed, but I'm having fun and my friends are having fun and we're just out to have a good time. So without further ado, let's get into the vlog.
Hang on, I got all these Pokemans in front of me.
Chad, this is what we're looking at. First hand of note comes when we're four-handed and very early in the night. We've paused the 7-deuce and knit games until we get a few more players in. We pick up 6-8 offsuit in the big blind. This home game is 1-1, but plays like a 1-2 or even larger. The under the gun and button call, and the small blind raises to 6. When it's four-handed with 3 loose players, I'm calling almost any reasonably sized bet to see a flop. Both players call, and we're off to a flop, which comes deuce 10-9 with 2 clubs. Small blind checks immediately, which I imagine he would do with his whole range while he's out of position. I don't want to see any more cards, and I think a pot-sized bet will fold out most of the garbage hands at the table, so I bet 15. Everyone folds quickly, and we pick up this small pot to start the night. It's not much of a hand, but it shows our willingness to bluff at a pot and could get us paid if we bet out of position later in the night.
We're very generous here.
What's up? Oh, it's on. That's what we got. 6. This next hand will pretty much set the tone for my night and start the tilt of my buddy, who's to my right. We start by picking up king 10 of clubs and under the gun and raise to 6. We get a call from the button and the small blind, and my friend goes to 20. This could be a squeeze, as he's last to act, and with suited Broadway cards, I want to see a flop, and apparently, so does everyone else.
Where did we get this dealer, man? We going ham. I'm not mean. I appreciate it. I've been appreciating.
The flop comes queen jack deuce with 2 hearts, and it checks to me, and I bet 20.
This is definitely when you
It
see
folds to the big blind, and he calls. I put him on a flush draw, or potentially ace jack or ace queen, but we're open-ended, and I think he would have raised here with any sets or overpairs with all the draws out there. Turn comes the 7 of diamonds, and he checks again, so now I'm putting him on a flush draw or ace jack. He should have bet the flop or turn with top pair or a set, and since he's checking again, I'm thinking he wants to get to showdown cheaply. It probably looks like I also have a flush draw since I've bet flop and turn, and I check back to see what comes on the river. The river is the absolutely beautiful 9 of clubs, giving us the nuts, and he bets out for 25. He could do this with a missed flush or top, and I want to see if he's willing to play for it all, so I shove, covering his remaining 115, and he snaps me off.
I have the nuts.
I announce that I have the nuts. He seems to be in disbelief or is slow rolling a chop, and the table perks up until he rolls over what he called with, which was pocket queens.
Oh, wow.
Man, he was wishing
These
that a
hands
fucking
on your
queen.
stack.
I was thinking you had less than that.
Alright, well, it's clearly favoritism.
Here.
This is evil. I like to think your manager.
Blind patient.
I'm gonna have pocket aces and we're all gonna see it.
Face up. Face up hand.
Well, we're screwed down here.
No, we got pocket pairs. Here we go, buddy. King 4.
This next hand I'm not going to go over too much in depth, but it is one of those side games that I was mentioning earlier in the vlog. So in this situation, all of our cards are going to be dealt face up, and all of the flop is going to be dealt face down. In my defense, I shouldn't be in this hand anyway, but I'm just curious to see how this is going to play out, so let's see how it goes. The flop is dealt face down, like I said, and the small blind bets out for $2. The big blind raises to 10, and I snap call.
I'll call that.
Question to Mark. Next card face up, face down. Face up.
The dealer then asks the player that folded pre-flop whether the next card should be dealt face up or face down, and he says, deal it face up. This gives the big blind top pair.
No.
Mark's like, you're so intrigued.
No.
He only bets 15, I call.
You have it over.
He only bets 15.
The big blind bets $15, and I call. There's a chance that I hit a king somewhere underneath there.
This will be the hand that does it to me.
4.
Small blind calls as well, and we're off to a river.
It was determining which one was going to be face up
Yeah.
or the turn or the river. I heard y'all like bingo.
Come on, Justin, do something.
Oh, I should have showed the burn cards.
Yep.
The dealer shows the burn cards, which is the queen of diamonds, the three of diamonds, and the six of spades.
I love it.
This would have given my friend to the right two pair. Big blind bets all in.
How much? Can I get a count, please? Hold on.
This is a $113 bet into a pot of less than $100 with a chance, potentially, that there's a king that's face down.
Fuck. That's what I didn't
My
want.
thought process is, if I call
Just put
this,
3
I
4s.
think I can get the other guy that's also got a king to fold.
No, that's too many hard carry. Get that shit out of here.
Alright, so we got
I don't have any
62.
And if I can get him to fold and
You
there's
have
a
a heart.
king,
You have
I'm
the
going to
best
scoop this pot.
Okay, keep the heart coming.
Just kidding, sir. I need one of these things. 60. Alright.
I know I'm not winning this.
Listen.
Absolutely. It's gonna be a king of fucking hearts, and you're gonna get your flush.
What are you? What
Twos.
is?
We're good.
No.
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yay!
Small blind
That's not-
calls, and we're chalked.
But you win with a queen.
I would have grabbed stuff.
All right, this next hand gets a little crazy at the end.
I would've
So we're
grabbed
on the
stuff
button,
for you.
and we have 7-5 of diamonds.
Yeah, I'm trying to like reset my sleep schedule.
The middle position player raises to $15. We call, and we get the under the gun player to call as well, and we are headed to a flop.
Play chips announced.
Once I'm asleep, I'm pretty on.
We're 15 now.
I woke up and I looked at the time and I was like, fuck, they're gonna be here. I'd rather like be showered or at least in the shower.
Flop comes 8-4 king with
You
2
good?
hearts. So we flop a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw. Under the gun checks. The middle position player bets $20,
Shocker.
and we make the call.
I hate Jaeger.
Under the gun player folds, and we're headed into a turn.
Especially when I was expecting my. Especially when I was expecting my.
I expected one thing. Like, I expected one thing. Like, yay! Oh no.
Turn is a gorgeous 6 of hearts, which gives us the nut straight at this time, but it does bring in a flush draw.
Yeah, it's one of those like walking kind of different, right?
It was
Middle position bets $40, and he could be doing this with the naked ace of hearts, or he could be doing this with top pair, so we make the call. The river does pair the board, so I'm less worried about flushes, and I may be able to rep a full house if I have to. Middle position goes all in for $80, and given that relation to the size of the pot, I just am getting priced in, and I can't fold here, so I flick in the chip.
Move it, call.
How much was it?
He says, all in.
Justin, you want a shot of Corona?
Nuts.
Do a what?
What?
Top it.
Don't fuck him up.
Top pair, I was straight. Sorry.
Well, he's a winner.
You said nuts and I got confused.
At this point, the woman to my left says nuts, which I interpreted as he had the nuts, meaning either
Why'd you
a
say
flush
nuts,
or a
Jess?
nut or the nut straight. So we accidentally slow roll this when middle position player had top pair.
The super villain over here is fucking.
nuts and it confused me.
I believed it at first. I was like, oh, he's got the flush.
That's what I thought.
But it wouldn't even be the nut flush. Like, anyway.
Again, that's what I thought.
Nuts.
Disgusting.
Next hand up, we have a double board PLO bomb pot. The loser of the knit game is splash the pot for $12, and we're all going to get dealt 4 cards and see 2 flops. The top board gives us an open-ended straight draw, and on the bottom board, we flop the nut straight. First to act checks, and next to act bets $10. Now, with the nut straight on the bottom, there is a flush draw out there, so I want to bet for protection, so I raise it to pot. Pretty much as soon as I bet pot, I notice the guy to my right grabs his chips, and that's all he has left, so I'm pretty sure he's going to go all in regardless. I get called to my left, and my buddy to the right is already trying to put in his chips out of turn.
The longest, but I just didn't realize it was.
Because that raise doesn't reopen action, I just call, and the person to my left calls too. The turn is a blank for me on the top board, but on the bottom board, it brings in a second flush draw. I might as well try and get the money in good now while I'm good on the bottom board, and just hope that I can hit my straight on the top board. We end up getting the nut straight on the top board, and the bottom board bricks out on the flush draws, but it does bring in Broadway draw.
Nut straight on both boards.
Yeah.
No, 3-5.
Sorry, second nut straight on the bottom.
You got me.
He doesn't have a 9.
Yeah, but he has 4, 5,
5,
6,
6, 7, 8, 9. And then the wheel on the bottom.
Yeah. There's no
Disgusting.
for a flush on the bottom or fucking a boat. But
Alright, we're doing this. You getting your work?
We did it here.
You getting your work out inside.
I goes to Taya first. You can have that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Mark says 200 more.
You're gonna fucking single-handedly kill this game.
At this point in the night, I'll be honest, I'm running really, really hot, and there's some commentary at the table about me breaking the game.
I goes to Taya first.
Then he'll show up with like a 175 to make them go all in the third hand.
Off the straight.
Was I there for that? Because I feel like I remember that. Or something similar.
That one me too.
He got me on a monster bluff.
This is going to be the last hand we go over in this vlog. We're on the button with the straddle to $2.
That's what makes it really hard to call him, because when he pulls off monster bluffs like that and you see it happen, you're like, ah, fuck.
I've continued to run hot throughout the night, and we've got some new faces at the table. Yeah. We're going to pick up 8-9 offsuit. The blinds both call, and then the under the gun player raises to 17.
See my volume.
Under the gun player raises to 17, and he gets 4 callers.
Almost a family call.
Wow. But Pete's not in. Dude, what are you doing?
Almost family.
Flop comes down Jack 10-5 rainbow. We flopped open-ended.
What?
You want to flip for a buck too?
A what? $1.50? Okay.
You want to flip for it?
Wait, like a full hand?
Yeah.
Is it on me?
Yeah,
Yes.
check over to you.
I didn't know. Okay.
It checks to me on the button, and I bet 50.
50 is the call.
I'm not putting anyone on a top pair holding, especially after everyone checked the flop.
But. How many jacks can we pick? Mark, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the off block mode. Too.
We get 1 caller, and the other 3 players fold.
Try that again. Roll it right over.
The turn is the 7 of clubs, which gives us the absolute nuts at the moment, but it does bring in a flush draw. Small blind leads out for 100, and I've got him covered.
Bree said they're taking him to the hospital.
I'm all in.
I think she said that they said that his heart was in hand.
I don't want to see any more clubs or straight completing cards come out, so I just want to get the money in now.
What a fold. Nice bet.
Wow.
Small blind
see a
fold,
river?
and I asked to see a river just because it looked like he needed some
JJ
help.
obviously needed some help. That was no help.
Yeah. What do you have?
Just the nuts.
Yeah, I would have had you. I would have got you.
You would?
Yeah.
Oh, you had clubs?
Club?
Yeah.
Wow.
Queen of clubs.
Wow.
You can't call that.
He announces he had queen 8 of clubs, which I'm not entirely sure I believe, but given the way he played this hand, I would have thought he would have had a better flush draw than queen 8.
Wow.
Well, that's it for my first vlog. I want to thank my friends for edging me on and actually making me do this. This has been a very humbling experience to not only see how I play cards, but also it really puts into perspective the amount of work that poker vloggers do on a daily basis. It takes a lot of time to go back through hands, go back through sessions, and come up with notes and your thought process for everything that's going on. And it's also been humbling to learn, new video editing software and to just see the entire process from start to finish. So I want to thank everyone. If you made it all this way, please like and subscribe. I will try and be consistent with these. Took me about 2 days to edit this after about 3 weeks of going through and actually watching the hands. So this session had a ton of action. So let me know what you would have done better. Let me know what you liked. And I'll see you guys in the next one.